I know it doesn't always make the most logical sense, but if you let go, and I'm going to explain to you in this video what that actually means, because it can be confusing and it can be hard sometimes. But I want to let you know that if you do let go, you will be taken to the next level of success in whatever endeavors you care about. So what I want to do in this video is share with you exactly what letting go is really all about and how you can actually practically put it into practice in your life, because that really is the greatest challenge. I understand that you are very passionate and excited about what it is that you're working on in your life right now, what it is that you're striving for. And the joke is that when we let go of the need to have had achieved it, this is when we actually energetically open ourselves up to be able to actually achieve it. But understand that if you are too demanding of having what it is that you want, it creates an intense tension within ourselves. It really does. I know you felt it before. I know you're not hearing this for the first time here. You've heard it in your own life, I know it. That rigidness, that intensity in us, it starts to beat down our vibration, right? We start to not feel as well. We're not getting as good of sleep. Our energy isn't as good. And what ends up happening is then the next day when you go to show up and work on your manifestation, you're not thinking as clearly, you don't feel as well. When we understand what letting go is, and we put it into practice, it allows our energy to grow and expand. It allows our clarity to become more clear, right? It allows our focus to expand. Our power becomes greater. So letting go isn't about stop taking action in your life and just give up and sit here and go, well, I guess everything is the way it is. That's how some people look at it, but you're not going to get great results this way, I promise. I know because I've tried it myself and seen it in my friends around me. Letting go is not about just give up and sit where you are and do nothing. No, letting go is about opening yourself up to feeling good now, to feeling the abundance right now in this moment. Because when we do that, we allow ourselves to feel really good. The stress hormone in our body lowers, right? There is science that literally shows what stress, what our placing extreme importance on certain things happening in our life. There's science that shows us now how this is detrimental to our mind, it's detrimental to our health, and ultimately it makes it so that you can't do as good of a job at what you're doing, right? It just makes sense when you look at it this way. When we have letting go be less of this far out conversation of, spiritual, metaphysics, how do we bring it into reality? Well, it's simple. If you let go, you're gonna have better energy. Your mind is gonna think better, you're gonna show up day by day more effectively, and you're gonna keep taking action on what it is that you want in your life. I must insist that you hear what I'm saying right now. You are going to keep taking action. Letting go is not about stop taking action. Letting go is about opening yourself up to recharging like you're a battery. It's about opening up and letting the energy of source, about letting the energy of who you really are come into your body and ignite you with the passion and inspiration that you need to fulfill the purpose that you've set out for, right? Now think about this. A lot of people drink coffee or caffeine to give themselves energy. The interesting thing is that if you've ever been truly inspired, truly passionate about something, you'll know that the energy that comes to you from that is 1,000,000,000 times more powerful than a cup of coffee. All right? So here's the aim. We want to open ourselves up to this natural state of inspiration, this natural state of passion and motivation, because it is far more extraordinary for the achievement of our success than any stimulant you could find out there. And that I know, because to be honest with you, years back in my life, I struggled a lot with addiction because I was trying to achieve more in my life, and I had decided that substances were the best way I knew how. It was a fool's path, and it led to a lot of pain. There is a source of energy that is far more powerful, and I know this from personal experience. You, me, and everybody out there has the same access to this source of power. Unfortunately, most people keep the door shut to it and continue to reach for stimulants instead, which only exhaust you further in the long run. They wring you out like a sponge. So I don't want to wring you out in this video. I don't think that you need that anymore. I think that what we're going to accomplish today together is that we are going to take the sponge that we are and we're going to open the door and we're going to let all this amazing water, all this source energy come and give us so much liquid in our sponge that we are energized, that we're ready to scrub all our plates clean in our lives. You hear what I'm saying? This is the power of letting go. This is genuinely what it's about. It really is. It is simple in this sense. If you don't have good energy, you're not going to accomplish your goal. It's just the way it is. We can only go so far before we exhaust ourselves and stop sleeping and attract illness and create so much tension. Now, I want to share with you how letting go works for me, in the genuine hope that you can relate to my example and make it work for you. I have huge goals that I'm going to accomplish with my YouTube channel here. Really big, you know, they're pretty far out, and I'm gonna keep the specifics to myself, but it reaches out far beyond YouTube itself. Now, my goals require me to show up every single day and work 14-hour days. Most people might not know that about me, but that is the way I live my life. The key to my letting go and staying tuned into this amazing source of energy is about not needing the end result. So let's say, for example, and this isn't the truth, I'm just trying to keep it simple for you. Let's say my goal is to have 1 billion subscribers on YouTube, right? Let's say that's my goal. Well, if every day I record a video and I'm focused on, I want 1 billion subscribers, I want 1 billion subscribers, I need it, I need it, I need it. What ends up happening is, obviously it takes some time to build that. And what ends up happening is I would get stressed anytime I see that it's not doing that well. When I look and I recognize I spent 14 hours today working on this content, for example, and it didn't achieve that, then we can start to get frustrated. We can start to get mad. And that would obviously lower my state. And subsequently the next day, I would be making not as great of videos. You would feel my mindset. You'd feel like, oh, Nathan's going through something, right? My videos wouldn't help as many people. They wouldn't do as well. And eventually I would crumble. So we can't keep up with that kind of framework in our reality. Therefore, your end result, this is the key to letting go that I've discovered. What if you made the end result being passionate today about the process of bringing your manifestation into reality? Think about that. What if instead of your end result being 1 billion subscribers, make this relevant for yourself, I know you will. What if your end result instead was to be passionate today about the process of making videos, the process about learning how to make them better and better and better. You see what I'm saying? What if you were so passionate, so inspired about it, you weren't insisting on any sort of outcome, right? You don't need 1 million people to click the video. You don't need a certain amount of interaction. You don't need anything to come from it. All you need is exactly what you have the ability to do. Show up and do it today with everything you've got. There is an incredible flow, an incredible source of power that comes to us when we engage in this sort of manifestation. When we stop insisting on this is what reality must look like, and that's why I'm showing up and taking action every day, and we pivot to what in reality must look like is that I must show up every single day inspired and passionate about what I'm doing, we shift into abundance. We shift into a true state of letting go. Because again, I want to help you to see that letting go is not about just give up. It's not about just like lay down and stop caring about the well-being of your life. Stop trying to accomplish what it is that you care about. That's not what it is at all. Letting go is about tuning into this new way of doing things. A way of doing things where we're not holding on to things needing to be anyway. We are simply passionately showing up every day, being the best that we can, and we're enjoying the process. You ever heard that quote, it's not the destination, it's the journey? That's a synonymous statement with letting go, in my personal opinion. And I want to share honestly that based on whose video you would click on letting go, they would have different things to say to you. But here you are today, having had resonated to click this video, and we're pretty far into it now, and you're still here and you're still listening. And to me, that says that some part of you within yourself acknowledges the vibe that we're sharing right now. Some piece of you knows that there is a value here for you that you can take into your life. Letting go can be such a challenging thing, but it doesn't have to be. When we try to understand what letting go is, sometimes it leads us in this circle and it gets frustrating, and the need for letting go grows as we try to let go. But when we just decide to show up each day in our lives because we love it, because we love being alive, because we love being here, because we love doing what it is that we're doing, that's where this incredible transformation takes place. Because now you are on the success path. You're not giving up. You're still taking massive action in your life. You're doing a lot, right? If you're like me, you're working those 14-hour days, which I'm not trying to tell you have to work a 14-hour day to achieve your goal. The only reason I'm able to consistently work 14-hour days is because I love what I'm doing and I'm showing up to it in a peaceful way. Right now, it's all about this moment I'm sharing with you. That's it. It's not about any outcome. It's about, this is who I am. This is what the passion and the love and the inspiration within me is guiding me to do. So what do you do if you're super stressed out with what you're doing and you feel like everything's falling apart? Well, the answer is actually really simple. Take a break and take a step back. Because if you keep trying to take action in your life from this defeated energy place, your action's gonna yield not much to you. If anything, it's just gonna create some kind of sickness for you to force you to have to remember how to let go. So what we wanna do is just take a step back and just take some breaths. Tune in, feel the sun shining on you. Maybe spend some time in nature. Nature's very healing. I know that you might not live in as natural of a place as I do, and I understand that because I used to live in the city for 24 years basically. And I just wanna say, I get that. But do the best you can. Find somewhere peaceful and quiet. Find some kind of situation for yourself that allows you to relax and remember that everything is okay right now. You're okay. Just because you don't have 1 billion subscribers right now, for example, doesn't mean that the world is falling apart, right? It doesn't mean that you're dying. It doesn't mean that horrible things are happening. But we make it out that way in our heads sometimes. Trust me, I know. We make it out to be some huge, horrible thing that's such this great challenge. But when we let go, when we take a step back from what we're doing and we just breathe and we feel the presence of this moment, it becomes clear to us in this space that we can start to see that we were being a little silly with the way we were doing things. We start to notice and see that, wow, I wasn't really enjoying my life. I was just trying so hard to make a change, I forgot how to enjoy the process. That's really all letting go is about. The need for letting go arises only when you are not enjoying the process of what you're working towards. That's it. That's when the lesson of letting go is going to come back in your life and hammer you down. But it's for your benefit. I used to mistake moments in my life where I needed to let go as the universe trying to tell me to stop doing what I'm doing. And I know now that that's not the case. I know that it's only a moment for me to remember that I ought to be enjoying the process of what I'm doing here. I ought to be breathing the air and appreciating every breath that comes through. I ought to be really passionate about what it is that I'm doing. And if I'm not, then I ought to take a step back, breathe, and when I notice that passion again within me, we pick it back up again. Did you know that letting go really was that easy? That it's not some complex, far out thing that you can only understand if you're a sixth dimensional being? No, you got this, Letting go is simple. We're all part of this. Nature's doing it all around us. You can be just like the fruit tree. When you let go, the fruits of your labor, they yield abundance to everyone around you. And when you're yielding abundance to others, which is really a simple analogy or metaphor with the fruit tree of when you're in a good vibe with what you're doing, that energy is very contagious to other people. You are creating abundance in other people's lives just by showing up in your life in a good place with yourself. You're spreading abundance. And nature, the universe, infinite intelligence, God, source, who you really are, has a firm habit, an undeniable habit, that those who show up in life in this way are always lifted up. Because that kind of energy, it just really performs well in this reality. Right? Nature is always seeking for abundance, is always seeking for those who can yield more energy than they need for themselves. You know, when nature creates a population of fish, it doesn't create just enough to populate the species, it creates enough to feed many other species, to nurture the soil, to do so many other processes. And you and I are like that too. We haven't been given just enough energy for ourselves, we've been given enough energy to create more for others. And when you let go, you can tap into that flow of abundance and more success comes to you in your life, because what you put out does come back to you. So take some breaths in your life if you're stressed right now. Remember, it's gonna be okay. You're an infinite, eternal being. You know, whatever you don't get done in this life, it's not like you can't do it. You'll go on forever. But I wanna tell you something that I feel very confidently about you. I know that you can accomplish far beyond what you came here to accomplish. You could do even more, just like nature's doing. But only if you remember what letting go is really about. It's all about enjoying the process. Don't insist on the outcome. Just enjoy the process. It's the journey, not the destination, right? You get it. I can feel that you do. I can feel the receival taking place. So thank you for coming here today. I do have a playlist on letting go. I'll tag here if you want to take these conversations farther and learn about it more. And I hope to see you for the next video, my friend. See you soon.